Hello, you're listening to E-Bible Fellowship's new open form excerpts, and now we present the following excerpt.
Welcome to our program. Please go ahead with your call.
Hi, Chris. Question is in Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14.
Hebrews
Thank you for that.
2:14. And for as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is, the devil.
Can you please explain that last line that seems to say Satan has power over death?
Well, for as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same. And that's what we were just saying. The word became flesh, or to just clearly see who we're talking about, we can turn to 1 Timothy 3, 1 Timothy 3, verse 16. And without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest in the flesh. God was manifest in the flesh. The Word was God. The Word became flesh. And so here, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that is flesh and blood, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death. The word destroy that's found here, it's not the usual word for destruction, but it's a word that identifies with none effect. For instance, it's translated none effect in Galatians 3, verse 17. If we go over there, it says in Galatians 3:17, "In this I say that the covenant that was confirmed before of God in Christ, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect." That is basically making the promise void or of no significance, none effect. It's also this word translated in 1 Corinthians 15, in a very interesting place. I'll start in verse 23. "But every man in his own order, Christ the firstfruits, afterward they that are Christ at his coming." So this has to do with the second coming of Jesus. "Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God." Delivering up the kingdom means everyone to be saved has been saved. "And he'll deliver up the kingdom to God, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, for he must reign till he has put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death." Now, the word "put down" in verse 24 is this word. It's Strong's number 2673. "So when he shall have made of none effect all rule and all authority and power of Satan." He no longer any effect, of Satan ruling the world or Satan ruling the church. He has been put down and his rule, his authority made void. And also in verse 26, "The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death." And that's our word again that is in Hebrews 2 in verse 14, "That through death he might destroy him," or make of none effect him that had the power of death, that is, the devil. And your question is, how did the devil have the power of death? Through sin. Through sin. If we go back to the Garden of Eden, God gave the law. God gave the law concerning that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. In the day you eat thereof, you will surely die. And then Satan came tempting Eve and also as a result, Adam, tempting them to break the law. And they did. They believed the lie of Satan. And in believing the lie, they disobeyed God and brought death to themselves. So it was Satan's influence. It was Satan's, origination of the lie. He's the father of lies. And remember, God calls Satan in John 8, verses 43 to 45, a murderer from the beginning because he killed Adam and Eve. That is, if you look at the lie as something that slew them through belief of the lie, then just like today, when there's lying gospels, well, God views that as killing people, drinking deadly poison. It won't hurt the elect. If we were to drink of it, it would not kill us spiritually. But the Lord looks at that as a poison that kills and holds people responsible who are engaged in false gospels. Well, this is the original false gospel. Right at the beginning, the lie delivered to Adam and Eve, and through their belief of the lie, they were slain. And that gave Satan the power of death, in a sense. He wielded deceitfulness. He wielded falsehoods and lies and is the father of them and an expert in them. And so down through history, what is it that people of the world, what do they always turn to? It's the gospel, it's Christ, it's the word who brings life and truth. And they reject it. They turn from it. Why? Well, because of some lie. Some lie. I don't believe that. But they do believe something. What do they believe? Well, they believe their professor, their atheist professor. They believe the scientist that tells them of big bangs or origins other than the origin God lays out in the Bible. Or they believe the Muslim religion or the Buddhist religion or the Shintoists and the Jewish religion or the false Christian religion of all the churches today. They opt for the lie, and it's that preference that they're bent towards the lie, and it's the lie that ruins them and destroys them.
Thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for more new open forum excerpts that will be added periodically.